So happy Saturday, everyone. A few days ago, I did a broadcast called Capture Your Family Stories While You Still Can. The idea about that is our loved ones are not going to be with us all forever, and some will lose their ability to tell their stories. So this holiday season, when you're out visiting and spending time with friends and family, maybe this is a good time to capture some of those things. So one of the things I mentioned was using Google Drive and Google Photos to accumulate things and store things, and organize things. So I'm going to start with Google Drive here. Let's see, put that up. I use Google Drive for a lot of things. If I'm working with a client, a book client, video client, whatever it is, almost the first thing I do is I'll put in create a folder, and I'll create a bunch of subfolders, and I'll have things places for putting videos, documents, planning notes, anything. And anyway, today we're talking about family stories here. This is an example of the Bonnie's family, the Andrews family, and this is a folder called Andrews Family Photos, 2024 or whatever. I don't know what the year is. And here I've been creating folders uh, for the basically Bonnie's been scanning things. We've been taking photos, putting photos in there, and then photos from various sources. Barbara's photos, her brother and her sister and brother-in-law's photos, Brenda and David, the project, Thanksgiving, all these things. So one of the things with this is you you may not know what you're going to do with these things, but if you don't preserve them, if you don't store them somewhere, you may not have an opportunity later. So Google Drive is great because you can create a folder, you can share it with your family members, you can create folders, and people can upload things that they have. And it's not just photos; it could be scanned articles, scanned documents, any of those things. Could be some video, could be um, audio recordings. All of those things can go up in Google Drive, and and then for me, I often will take these things and I can make a story production out of it, which could be a book, could be a presentation shown at a family event like a wedding or a memorial or something like that. The whole thing here is I'm going to encourage you to think about creating a place for your family memories and family documents and start storing them. And now is a good time to start if when you're out doing and it doesn't have to be that onerous. I think if you're I also encourage people to use your phone and you can see that the phone's great for taking photos of photos, doing audio recordings, shooting video. And over the holidays, if you have a place you can upload, often you can just select Google Drive as a destination for sharing files out of right from your phone. So it doesn't have to be hard, and just put it there, and then we'll figure out what to do with it later. So the next thing is that I use is also a Google product here. Here, this is Google Photos. You can put photos and video, audio recordings, but it's mostly for photos. And you can see some of the things here. Like I took a bunch of photos at the grand opening for the Coldwater Medical Center here near Merritt. And this is the Cypress Mountain is my son Kale and his family were out, and I took a bunch of photos. I did a lot of things with Rocket Norton and the cancer concerts recently, and yeah, just for example, so I've got some scanning. I'm sitting here within about 50 feet of me, boxes and boxes of photos that my mother had. It's on my list to scan them. It's it'll take a long time. And then here's some photos that just my my uncle Joe Christensen, I mentioned him the other day that he's the one who had stories about being in the war. Anyway, when he passed away, his daughters sent me these photos, and many of them I hadn't seen. Right, so this is when my one was in 1949, and that must have been my brother Doug. That's my mother, Fran, George, and yeah, and here this reminded me that they had a window cleaning business, and they had a truck for the window cleaning business. So that's pretty cool stuff. So there's a lot of history here, and then my cousins hand wrote took sent some wrote out some notes that my uncle had put together and sent them here. And so this kind of this little album here could be a pretty decent project. So um yeah, so I think maybe that's all I'm going to say for today. I'll keep it short. So my encouragement is for you is this holiday season when you're out spending time with friends and family, keep in mind that you can maybe capture some stories, scan some photos, or just say take photos of photos. Something the camera with some good lighting is pretty good for taking photos. You don't have to make it into a project. You can later if you want to do something more fancy, but start collecting those photos and then using Google Drive or Google Photos to store them. Google Photos is great, especially when you're wanting to share them later. What I tend to do if I'm doing a presentation for an event like a wedding or a birthday or a memorial service, I tend to make I'll tend to do a video that we will show with music or narration or something at the event. Anyway, the whole thing is capture these photos, collect these photos. I've got a whole box full of hard drives, and really, um, I have been trying to put the most important things on Google Drive because it's something that's accessible no matter what happens. Uh, if the house burns down, everything burns up. I still will have things on Google Drive, and I've had hard drive failures, and it's just a way of organizing and a way of preserving. And it's for most of you, it's going to be free. There's quite a lot of storage you get for free, and then you get to a certain point, and it's inexpensive. I've got you know terabytes of stuff up there, and I'm spending less than $5 a month to have that storage there. It's just really valuable service, and Google Photos is a pretty good way of presenting the photos too. Anyway, so that's all I'm going to say. And enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, uh, have a great time this Christmas season, and be happy, be well. Thank you.